Hi, Flash Tube, it's Diane. That's weird. Why is my hair doing that? Anyway, it's Tuesday, July 17th, 2018. Here at driving school. Day 7, 3 more days. I don't mind doing this for my kids, but if you're a mom, you understand the days do get long. And, the house, I get home, the house is just chaotic. So, looking forward to getting things back on track. I won't be doing this next summer, but the summer after. So I had a year of not having to do driving school. I didn't get breakfast before I left the house, so I went to the grocery store to grab some yogurt and fruit, and I ended up getting some groceries for the week. Why is the price of food not going down? It's just ridiculous. I mean, I didn't buy that much. Anyway, I go into a grocery store and I have a cover charge. Stitching. Let me show some stitching real quick. Working on this one, 7 Swansea Swimming, cottage garden samplings. It's so pretty, and I'm using mostly the DMC alternates because a lot of the colors you don't see a lot of variegation. The exception though is the pinks. I am using the called for dark pink, and then I'm using a different over-dyed light pink. But here's where I'm at. So, working on getting the bird to have a head. I finished all the green, all the yellow. I've not finished all the orange or red. That's 36 count natural, and it's coming along nicely. So I was stitching on that. Just one-handed. And then my daughter had her surgery yesterday, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I started this one at the hospital. This is part 6 in the Farmhouse Christmas series, Pinewood Farm. I get it auto shipped through Annie's. I'm doing this on 32 count. It's a natural raw linen. And so I worked on it there and a little last night. So I almost have the border done. Is it gonna line up? I didn't even check that. I should see if that's gonna line up or not, because oh man, that'll drive me nuts if it doesn't line up. Hold please. Oh yes, it does line up. It's gonna line up. I'll have my hallelujah moment. Oops. Yeah, so yesterday was my daughter's surgical biopsy. We had to be there at noon. We got there about 11:30. I am one of those people that has to be early, or I'm late, or I feel like I'm late. Got her checked in upstairs. They took her back to do prep, and I waited. My husband was there too, and we waited to go back. This is prior to surgery. Surgery was scheduled for 1:30. I think they got her into the OR right around that time. It wasn't, maybe within 5 minutes here and there. I don't know, it said 13:36. When we got in the room, they said it was at 1:45 or 13:45. Anyway, got her in there. We knocked her out and all that. The surgeon, made the incision. He got in there and he grabbed lymph nodes. And the pathologist quickly looked at it while she was still there and out, knocked out. The lymph nodes he pulled, you have a lot of lymph nodes in your body, but the ones that he pulled were clear. And he said, well, that's not right. So he went in, he had to open her up again. He had her all sewn up and he had to go in again. So the surgery was supposed to take like an hour and a half. It took just about 3 hours. And I kept wondering, because they have a board and you can watch progress and stuff. And I kept wondering, okay, why is she not in recovery? Because there's a 2-part recovery, and we could go in at phase 2 of the recovery, but we couldn't phase 1. And it just seemed to take forever. And I'm like, okay, trying not to panic. And finally we could go, we had a pager thingy, could go to the waiting area, and then the surgeon comes out and talks to you. Patient's still back in recovery, and then you wait until patient gets to phase 2. And he said, yeah, he had to go back. It was really surprised him. He had thought the mass, the tumor, and yes, he did use that word, the tumor was right there, and he was surprised. He said, I was really surprised because all the indications in the CAT scan and that was that the tumor was right there. So he explained he had to go back in, and he originally had thought he didn't need the scope, again, because he thought it was right there, but he did have to get the scope in there, and the tumor was a lot farther right than he thought. So he said, I had to get in there because that part of your body, a lot of our bodies, there's a lot going on in a small area, and especially that part of your chest, because you have your chest bone that you can feel, but behind that, in front of that, you have skin and muscle and tendons. Behind that, you also have muscle, plus all the organs, and everything's really compact in there, and then you have this mass that's pushing everything kind of out of alignment. And so it took a little for him to find the mass. He said, but when it was there, he got what he needed. The pathologist was happy with the samples. And, he got out of there and sewed her up again. And he said that they sealed some of this, they froze some of the samples, because they freeze them so they can slice them thin to put them under a microscope. But they also put some under wax. And it sounded like they did both, because sometimes when you freeze, it could damage your sample, so you're not getting an accurate, sample, for lack of a better term. But they can also take it and put it in wax, have the wax harden, and then still slice it and get a good look. And it sounded like they definitely did the wax one. They might have done both. He said the pathologist will probably be able to have it analyzed by this afternoon, if tomorrow at the latest. And he said, again, it's not a diagnosis, but he has a lot of experience. He says it looks like Hodgkin's lymphoma. So Hodgkin's, I've been trying not to Google a whole lot on this whole thing, just a little here and a little there, because you don't want to internet too much stuff. But it sounds, no matter what stage it is And the chemotherapy and radiation will be involved in her treatment. So then we finally got to see her. It was almost 5 o'clock. No, yeah. It was almost 5 o'clock before we actually got in to see her. Or maybe even after 5 o'clock. The news was on, so it must have been after 5 o'clock. And then she's very hoarse because they had a breathing tube down her throat. And that just causes irritation in your throat. Very normal. She's very sore this morning. The dressing is right here, is where the dressing is. Just keep that on for until this afternoon, like 6 o'clock, and then she can take it off. She can take a shower after that point, but she can't get soap in that area, because under the dressing is are steri strips. Inside she probably has some dissolvable stitches. On the outside it's just steri strips. Yeah. Needless to say, my husband, she's at our house and not at her apartment. If she's up to it, we're going to try and get her to her apartment tonight. But if she's not, she's welcome to stay at our house. We're not kicking her out or anything. It's just, she's an adult. And yeah, I would love for her to be in my house and, because I'm a mom. She was moving around a little easier this morning. Her throat's still sore from the tube. So I bought her some vitamin C drops. And, the yogurt in a tube things, you can freeze those like a popsicle. So you freeze them, and then I give them to my kids as a snack in the summer. I had a couple of those in the freezer, so I gave her one of those this morning, and she said that felt really good on her throat. But my youngest daughter and one of her brothers, I said, while I'm gone, she is not in charge. There's another brother there that's in charge. While I'm gone, they're supposed to be her nurse. So if she needs her water bottle filled, because she's going to lay on our bed. My husband's in my bed. We have an adjustable bed. So that, I think, will be easier for her, although she had a lot of pillows. We made sure she had a lot of pillows last night, so she could kind of figure out how she needed to lay to be comfortable. Because the dressing is pulling. It's the nature of a big Band-Aid. It's pulling on her skin. But yeah, my husband and I, we're not sleeping very well because of the stress. My husband's having his infusion today. He had his last infusion. He was almost on crutches again. And I'm like, oh. Because the stupid insurance company was dinking around, and I'm like, my husband needs this treatment. We've met our deductible. Get your act together and get it done. And rather than having a nurse come to our house, I don't know if I've talked about this before or not, but the nurse that came to our house got on our nerves. She would take 9 hours. Last time he went in to this center for his infusion, it took less than 5 hours. Same amount of medicine. And this time, it started at 9. What time is it now? It's 10:30. So he's probably been getting his infusion for an hour and a half now. He'll probably be done a little after noon. And he has to go to work for a meeting. But, yeah, he's like, because he came home, he was home at 2 o'clock last time, and I thought, why are you home so early? He said, well, they don't need to take I'm like, well, then why did she take so long while she was here? Because the more hours she works, the more money she gets. You know, not all nurses are that way. Please don't think I'm slamming nurses. I have met some outstanding people who are RNs, or, you know, they are nurses. They're fabulous people. But every once in a while you find one and you're like, why are you doing this? And she was one. She was the one that, it was my husband's first infusion, so we didn't know if he could accept it and could have an allergic reaction and all that. Excuse me. I'm downstairs and she says, jokingly, Diane, call 911. So I grab my phone and I'm running upstairs, and she was joking. Excuse me? I was beside myself. My husband had earbuds in, so he didn't hear her. It was he that had words with her. I went downstairs and I was shaking so bad. I was almost physically ill. And I don't get physically ill very often, thankfully, but I almost was. Because I was shaking so bad. And I was crying. And I was pissed. Oh, man. And then after I had my surgery in April, I was recovering and he had an infusion. And she said, oh, where's Diane? Where's Diane? I told my husband, I said, because our bedroom is downstairs, I said, I am not going upstairs. I'm not seeing that woman. Anyway, I should let y'all go. I just need to kind of unload a little bit. Oh, and then I do Azure Standard. I have been a drop point coordinator for over 10 years. I do not know what is happening with the last, I think we're at 10 months now. Every month there's something. Yesterday, they're supposed to be at my house at 8. He was there at 7:15. I was in the shower. My husband and boys took care of it. We ended up, we had the correct number of boxes, but we ended up with a box that was for the next drop, and I know that coordinator, so she and I talk about every month, and both of us have been doing this over 10 years, and there's always been a little hiccup here and there, but oh man, this is just stupid, so stupid. So I had one of her boxes. So I texted her and I said, hey, I have one of your people's boxes. You and I can get together and we will figure this out and just let your person know that I have it. We ended up with a box so every box has the customer's name on it. So one of my ladies, so we sort boxes. She was supposed to have 4 boxes. She ended up with 5. What? So we open up the box. She has a whole box of stuff that she did not order or pay for, or probably even need. Well, I let Vicky know, and Vicky said, so she started going through everybody's orders. She said that was the first one of her people, that was her box. So Vicky had to come down, and she ended up taking the 2 boxes, the one frozen and the other box, and then 2 of my ladies, because we thought, oh, we have the right number, so the truck left. And I said, oh, so that means that we're short. And we were short 1 frozen and 1 other box. And so I said, hey, Vicky, will you see if it's on the truck? He couldn't find it. Calls me yesterday afternoon when I'm at the hospital. I'm like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Oh, I found one of your boxes, but I have no idea where the other box is. It's stupid. It is so stupid. So I have to call them and give them a piece of my mind. I told Vicky, I said I probably shouldn't do it. I should probably let my blood pressure go down before I call them. Because it's just stupid. They need to get in there and they need to fire everybody at the upper level because somebody mismanaged the money, and get people in there who actually know how to run a business. This is just, it's ridiculous. I am not paid to be a drop point coordinator. I don't get paid. I'm not one of their employees. But some idiot said, well, what if every drop point manager just gives Azure $1,000? What? No. I thought you want to give them money? You give them money. No. So I have to deal with that this week too. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't usually swear. I do know the words, but I don't usually swear. But trust me, I am this close to swearing. Calling them on the phone and just, I'm tired of it. Anyway, I should be done ranting. I don't know. I need to go home and take a nap is what I need. But tomorrow I should be able to do another video. I'm not sure on Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday will probably not happen. Oops, sorry. My daughter who turned 10 on Sunday, this last Sunday, 15th, she had a good birthday. She had a lot of fun. And then Saturday is my birthday, so my husband's taking me out to dinner. I have to figure out where I want to go. Nothing fancy, just simple food that I don't have to prepare. I don't have to wash dishes. And it can kind of distress a little bit. I'm in the same parking lot, and this person was parked in my spot, and now they finally moved. It's nice today weather-wise. The humidity is so nice. I suppose I could do the deck this afternoon. The second coat. That's probably what I'll do. I got ingredients to make some beef broth because if my daughter needs chemotherapy, sometimes solid food is hard, but if she has some good beef broth, and I make some good homemade beef broth for her and for us, then that should work. And we bought a beef, so I have all those soup bones. I have a huge box of soup bones sitting there in the freezer. I know I'm just rambling now, but I need to unwind. I need a stitch. So I'll let y'all go. Hi Flash Tube, it's Wednesday, July 18th, day 8 of driving school. 2 more days. I've just been running errands all morning. I had to go to Office Max because I ordered some supplies because I'm doing homeschool planning and I ran out of paper again. I've gone through a whole case of paper so far, prepping for this school year. I've just learned that if I have all the tests printed and all the handouts as much printed as I can now, then during the school year it's much easier. And I have high schoolers on down to, well, mini dot will be 2 in October. So yeah, I have, that's what, 9 children that I have to worry about. So yeah, it's been interesting. And I ran out of binder clips again because I clipped their stuff together. I like those better than paper clips. Anyway, then my boys asked me to go to Guitar Center to get them some picks so they can practice guitar. You talk about the slowest clerk. Oh my word. I bought 5 items. He didn't even give me a bag, and they're all little items. I'm like, ugh, I better not lose them. Then I went to T-Mobile, got my middle daughter her own phone, and that didn't take as long. Last time I set up a phone, it took like 3 hours. It was unbelievably long. This guy, boom. I think it took a half hour at the most. And that was just adding a line to our account and verifying a couple things. So it was pretty busy in there too. And then I went to Byerly's, which is a grocery store here, because my kids in driving school, they have what they call killer brownies. These brownies, oh my word, I don't even want to know the calorie count, but as a celebration for driving school, I always get them a killer brownie. Because I will have everybody tomorrow. I'm not sure on Friday. I'm getting her the killer brownie today. And she likes root beer, so I got her root beer. And then I went to Barnes & Noble because my daughter, who had her birthday on Sunday, they give a free cupcake till age, I don't know what age. She turned 10, so she was in the age, so I had to go get her a free cupcake. And I picked up, I should show what I picked up. My friends who gifted me a certificate to 123 Stitch. It took a while to, this is what I picked up. This and this. Oh yes, I'm not a huge bird stitcher. I know some people love birds. Calico loves birds, and she loves stitching them. But there are times that they call to me and say, "You're stitching me now," and this is one of those times. Although look at this one. In cross-stitch gold. When was that one? What number was that? Issue 1. Where is it? Gotta get my magnifier out. I think it's 139. Sorry. Yes, 139. I have no idea what they're at now, but 139 has that peacock. Anyway, pick that up. So I'm a Barnes & Noble member, so I get a discount. So yeah, I've just been running. This child wants this, and this child that, and this child this, and this child that, and this child that. It's okay. That's okay. It makes the time pass. We still have not heard from the pathologist. We had hoped to hear yesterday, but we didn't hear anything. We're thinking we're going to hear today. My daughter's feeling better. She's telecommuting today. Yeah, that's where we're at on that for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another video over the next couple days. I'll try and do one Saturday if I can, just to wrap it up. I didn't stitch. Well, I did stitch yesterday. I just continued working on the farmhouse Christmas that I showed. But yeah, I was busy. I just didn't get much done stitching wise. Driving school, it always takes time. Oh well. But my daughter, we went to Hobby Lobby, my middle daughter and I. She had a field trip today to a salvage yard. The teacher of the driving school is an accident reconstructionist, and he doesn't gross them out, but he does walk through and say, okay, now this accident happened because this driver didn't do this or did this. Just to be very upfront and blunt with them. And again, he doesn't do it for shock value or gross them out, and they take great pains that should an accident involve serious injury, those are all covered and everything, but he just talks about it so the kids know the seriousness of getting a driver's license and driving and having that responsibility. Well, they wanted a neon shirt, so we had to go to Hobby Lobby and get one, t-shirt. and I found they had clocks on sale, so I found a double-sided clock that Bella Vita is going to fit perfectly in. And I thought Siren Song would fit in there, but she's too wide at the top. But I'm going to see if I do two mermaids, or Lola, Miss Lola's dagger wing would also fit in there just perfectly. So I was going to see if her other sisters, the other four, which I have, would also fit. Miss Solar Ellipse is, I think, just a wee bit big. Because that's a series of 6. I have 2 of them completely stitched. 2 of them kitted, 1 of them kitted, ready to start. And I have the other patterns. Although, no, the last 2 just came out. Monk's Hood. No, that's the other series. I'm sorry. I did order the latest Nora patterns, the Monk's Hood and Poison Ivy. I did order those. They're beautiful. But my friends gifted me a gift certificate to 123 Stitch, and I go on there and I wanted to get fabric to finish the 12 Days of Christmas. Well, at least the patterns I have, they were out. And I kept, okay, well, maybe I should get this off my wish list and this off my wish list. Oh, they're out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. But I did order, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow, and I'll try and show you guys what I ordered for my birthday from my friends and their generous gift. I also, oh, of course, then when I was looking at my email before I started this video, the fabric I was looking for is back in stock. 36 count natural. That's okay. I've got plenty to keep me busy, and I have an excuse to go to Stitchville now. Although Kelly and Joan were at Stitchville on Monday, I couldn't be there. I was at the hospital. The 3 of us are going to meet up one of these times. We've all agreed on that. We're just trying to figure out what time that is. But you should be watching the Joan and Kelly show. Funny, nice ladies. Yeah. Haven't figured out where hubby's going to take me for my birthday on Saturday for dinner. But I'll figure that out. The kids are going to have frozen pizza. I get tired of pizza. Although I had some really good pizza when I was in San Antonio. That restaurant. That was really good. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. My daughter's probably going to be back from her field trip. I don't see the bus yet, but it's supposed to be back here within 5-10 minutes. So I'll let y'all go. I gotta go home and then pick up my son and either take him to work or give him the keys and let him drive himself to work. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I don't think we need the car this afternoon. But yeah. I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube, but I have been adding to my watch later list. So there you go. But yeah, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments, either on this video below or the PMs that you've sent me. Yeah, I've met some wonderful friends through FlossTube. I mean, I've met people face to face. Sherry, Lucretia, Tracy, people that don't do FlossTube I've met face to face. And Leslie, she does FlossTube, but yeah, it's a great community. Thank you for letting me be part of it. Thank you for watching my videos and subscribing and commenting and thumbs upping and supporting other FlossTubers, and yeah. So I'll let y'all go. Might talk to you Saturday. If I don't, I'll just post this video sometime next week. Next Monday is the appointment with the oncologist. My husband might be out of town. He's not sure. He wants to be there for our daughter. He's a guy it's harder for him to talk about, but he wants to be there, and he's not sure if he should go or not, and his boss knows what's going on, so we will see what we need to do. But love to you all.